All right, Schlockmeister fans, Tom Hanks made for television his first leading actor role. It is Mazes and Monsters. Let's check it out.
Mazes and Monsters got a little out of hand over at the university.
Second, bud.
Mazes and Monsters? Right. You know how to play it?
My kids play it. I know the game.
Well.
Our movie starts with Chris Makepeace as JJ.
Oh no.
His mother's changed his room. He doesn't like it.
It looks like a hospital.
Don't scream at me.
The next character we see is Kate, played by Wendy Crewson.
When Dad left us, were you ever sorry you married him in the first place?
And then, of course, there's Daniel.
Who's going to make up the games in the world?
Other people will. You have a much more important talent.
He wants to create video games and stuff.
Daniel, this is a very competitive world, and you're going to have to live in it now.
And, of course, Robbie, played by Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I know, Dad. I will. I see another D, you don't see another check.
Oh, Holly.
They're all going to college.
You've had too much to drink.
His mom is Vera Miles, by the way. They want to recruit Tom Hanks to play Mazes and Monsters.
That's my sign there. Yeah, JJ Brockway. I used to, but I don't anymore.
Eventually, the other three are able to recruit Robbie to play, though.
I am the maze controller.
He got too into the games at his previous college, so he told his parents he'd stop playing.
I know the perilous course which you were about to take.
Of course, the biggest reason he agreed to play was because he can get closer to Kate. And the two of them quickly hit it off. He wants to move in with her.
I'm not ready yet. It's too soon.
Alright. Like the fanatic of Glossamere is impaled.
JJ makes a dumb move.
Pardieu saved him. Use your power to raise the dead.
Well, I can't. I don't have enough points to raise the dead.
Oh, hell.
JJ, that was really stupid.
JJ has a new idea for a new game.
I propose we play Mazes and Monsters in a real sense.
But he convinces them to go to these caverns, these tunnels. They're going to play it for real. He's set it all up down there, so they're excited.
A monster! A monster! A monster! Agorville! Agorville! Agorville!
Well, sure should. A monster shows up. Now, apparently Robbie's losing his mind. He's got a few issues. Then he has this weird dream where it's like some sort of wizard or something is telling him he has to be celibate.
The holy man must walk.
So since he's got to be celibate, he decides to break up with Kate.
I love you and I will always love you, but I just can't touch you anymore.
Well, they break up, but it doesn't take her very long before she starts making moves on Daniel, who's more than willing. Gamer boy finds a gamer girl. You don't pass those up.
Now you are ready.
Robbie's hearing voices in his head. Then he disappears.
Hey guys, he wasn't in his class this morning. I mean, I talked to everybody and no one's seen him.
So they find this map in his room.
To start his own game, so he could be the maze controller.
And got hurt or something.
Oh.
So they think they might have a lead as to where he is. They can't find him, and eventually the cops are called.
You mean the game?
We know he played. We found a map in his room. You play?
Oh, I used to, but what do you guys think happened?
One of the players Robbie played with got carried away and killed him.
That's kind of far out.
Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game. Swords, poison, spells, battles, maiming,
That's
killing.
what he thinks. It didn't really happen, though.
You want to know the truth? We don't have idea one where Robbie really is.
How?
They try to find him on their
We're
own.
using our game playing skills. Accepting the premise that Robbie's become Pardieu, then this was created by Pardieu.
Robbie's found his way to New York City.
So my spells, I got them in my life.
And runs into some thugs. One of whom he stabs. He thinks he's a monster, of course.
remember.
Robbie, it's going to be all right.
Hear me out. I am Pardieu. I am a holy man.
I'm the king of France.
Your Majesty.
Towers. Wait, not the book. Real. Oh, where's my brain? The two towers are the Twin Towers, the World Trade Center.
So they head out to the World Trade Center, and sure shit, they find him.
Robbie! Robbie!
Find him about to jump off the roof.
Going to join the Great Hall.
You can't. It's a trap.
I have spelled.
Teacher, what am I doing here? Why can't I remember?
3 months later, they go to visit him.
Really? Aren't you dead? Didn't you die when you leaped into the pit?
Hey, come on, Robbie. Stop fooling around.
Apparently, he's not healed yet.
It is you, Freelick. You have been restored to the living.
Also, a wondrous treasure. Shall ye enter?
Aye.
Hi.
That's our movie. All right. Mazes and Monsters. Now, I have this on my movie list as Rona JAFFE'S Mazes and Monsters, or Rona Jaff's. I'm not sure. The title screen actually says that, and this was based on the novel by Rona. I don't know if that's a boy or girl, to be honest with you. This came out in 1982, was it? And it was a Tom Hanks' first movie lead role. I believe that's what it was. He plays a college kid named Robbie. He was actually 26 years old, I think, at the time. And he has 3 other college people. Chris Makepeace as JJ, Danny, and then Wendy Crewson plays Kate. And they play a Dungeons and Dragons type game called Mazes and Monsters. Robbie's going to the school. He used to play this game too much, so his parents made him quit. And he's gone to a new school now. However, when they need a third player, the other 3, they recruit him, and of course he eventually hops on board, even though initially he says no. But I think he has a thing for Kate, which is why he decides to play. And of course, we find out why he shouldn't play this game. He's got some sort of psychological problems. His brother, little brother, I guess, disappeared years earlier, and they don't know what happened to him. That's kind of messed up his head a little bit. So they play the game, and at one point, Chris Makepeace decides, hey, we should play this game for real. There's some caverns nearby, the Pequan Caverns or something like that. Let's set it up in there. I'll be the game master, and I'll set up a game down there. So they all agree to do it. And then while they're down in the caves the first time, Tom Hanks' character encounters a monster. And it freaks out because he actually sees a monster, some sort of green, it was called a Gorville or a Gorbill or something like that, but it's like this great big gargoyle type thing, and he freaks out and starts screaming. They come to his aid, and it turns out there's nothing there, obviously. But then he starts having dreams where, he's basically becoming his character. And in his dreams, they're telling him, you got to be celibate from this point forward. So he decides to break up with Kate. They'd become a couple at this point. And then he disappears, and nobody can find him. Ultimately, the 3 of them, even though they contact the police, so they can't find him either, they figure out what he's doing. He's become his character, created a new maze. He's the game master. Ultimately, he's going to end up in New York City is where they end up finding him. He ends up stabbing someone in the street, this thug who tried to steal from him. I guess it was kind of accidental. Of course, he thought the guy was a monster at that point. And they eventually catch up to him at the World Trade Center, one of the Trade Center buildings. And they find him on the roof. He's about to jump off, and then they tell him, what are you doing? And he says, well, I'm going to fly, and they're like, you don't have enough points to do that, blah, blah, blah. So they basically take him off the ledge, literally. And then he's like, okay, he seems to be okay for a second. He starts crying. Fast forward 3 months, he's back at home convalescing. They come to see him, and it turns out he's still messed up in the head. He still thinks he's playing the game. They decide to appease him and just play the game with him, and then that's how our movie ends. Now, this movie was basically a slam at Dungeons and Dragons people. There was, during that time period, there was a lot of backlash, or I shouldn't say a lot, but there was some backlash that some people were taking the game way too seriously. There were people committing suicide because their characters died and that sort of thing. So some of these gamer type things had just a big backlash against it, and this was like a warning to that. It was loosely based on this guy in Michigan, I think, who played the game and committed suicide in some sort of cavern. However, from what I've read, the suicide really had absolutely nothing to do with the game that he was playing. So who knows? But anyway, apparently gamers really hate this movie because it gives it a bad light. The movie itself is just kind of silly, although, it was kind of enjoyable. I do like Chris Makepeace, and of course I like Tom Hanks. Who doesn't like Tom Hanks? But anyway, that's Mazes and Monsters. It's just a strange little film. It is available on DVD. I don't know if it's in the public domain, but I think there's multiple versions of this out there, and it's pretty cheap. You can get this for less than $10, $5-6 or so. So I got this used myself. It says rated PG, but it was TV made, so I don't know how there's a rating on it. But anyway, that's it. Mazes and Monsters. Curious what you think about it? Leave some comments. Let me know. Watch it. Bye.